They go underneath the. Must be. Sorry, I broke my tripod. Yes, thank you. Jess, video this while I fix this. My, somehow this got locked up, so oh, what the heck happened here? I'm gonna mute it for a little. All right, little technical difficulties. Tripod. All right, there's a shot saved by their goalie with 10:29 remaining in this first period. See if I can get up a little higher with. There, that's a little better. All right. Wagner faces off, sends the puck into the boards. Tigers have it now, trying to clear it out of the zone, but Wagner's right there to keep it in. Emma with a shot up and over the top of the goalie. Kept in the zone by number 7-7, Hayden. And the other 22 is Maddie. Little 22 is Maddie. So puck along the boards now is Wagner in there trying to battle it out. As the Tigers try and clear it out of the zone. That one's going to sneak out and around over here to Hayden. And that'll be icing. 9:44. Wagner to face off. Puck goes over to Jansky. Jansky tries to get a shot up. Hits the ref right in the leg. Now she'll send it down into the corner. Jansky sends it out to Hayden. Hayden from the point. Fires one down off the stick of Wagner. Now into the corner is Jansky as she pinches along the boards. Wagner grabs the puck from there. Comes around the outside, tries to wrap around, and we get a whistle. 9:22 remaining in this first period of play. Charlotte and Avery check on for one way. Puck comes back to Avery. She fires one down just a bit outside. Rebounded by Wagner. Then Jansky. She takes a shot in. And one way is going to take a 1-0 lead. Wagner coming up to face off. Puck goes back over to Avery. She's going to push it forward. Now into the zone it goes. Tries to get a shot up. Has it deflected a little bit. Now she gets a stick under her skate and goes down. Puck's loose out in front of the net. Here comes the Tigers as they bring it up. Forcing it down into the zone. Back behind Peterson. She sends it out. Now Wagner sends it out to Jansky. Jansky's going to bring it up. Now into the zone she goes. Puck goes to the center. It's out front. Emma's right out front for it. Puck still loose. Now picked up by Brooke. Brooke has it behind the net. Sends it into the corner for Emma. Charlotte's going to step up and grab it. Charlotte with it now behind the net. Tries to send one out, but here comes the Tigers. As Charlotte and Emma pinch the puck there as it comes across, but here comes the Tigers. They take a shot, blocked there by Peterson, centers it. Now Avery trying to get the puck in there. Puck comes out, and now that one's going to get sent out of the zone. That was touched by a Tiger, so they're going to wave off icing. 7:50 remaining in the first period. As Brooke goes out, tries to get a body on the girl. Hefner gets a stick in on there. Ellie tries to send it down, has it picked off. Now she taps it out, and that one's going to get sent down. And they'll be icing on the Tigers. 7:32 remaining in the first period. Brooke to face off. Puck comes over to Hefner. Then now over to Maddie. Maddie's going to send it down into the corner. More Tigers try and send it down and around. Now back over here to Hayden. Hayden sends it up to Ellie. On to Hefner, over to Maddie. And Ellie comes out with it. Here she comes across the front, has it tipped away. And the Lady Tigers bring it up. Tipped away there by Maddie. Now tapped out to center ice. As Sophie trying to get in there on that play. Now the puck gets knocked out. Back to Hayden. She uses the board, sends it down. And they're going to get called for icing. 6:14 remaining in the first period. Betsy to face off. As the puck comes out, Addie trying to push it out of there. Soph now steps up, tries to get a stick in on it there. And that one's going to sneak by and will get called for offsides. As Betsy faces off, puck goes forward, now off to the side. Ooh, she came out of nowhere. She's pretty quick. Soph gets over there trying to get that puck out of there. Now up in front here is Addie. Looks up at the crowd. Avery comes in with the puck, now into the zone. Has it along the boards. Now over in the corner, Charlotte's going to grab it in the corner. Comes behind the net looking for options, goes for a centering pass out to Avery. Now she's going to fire one down, buzzes the front of the tower. Rebounded by Jansky. She has it in the corner, goes to skate up, sends it out. And that one's going to sneak out of the zone, picked up here by Avery. Now she pushes it back over to Jansky. She runs into a Lady Tiger and goes down. Now the Tigers dump it down into the zone. Charlotte picks it up behind Peterson, sends it back over to Wagner. Wagner's going to push forward. One of the Tigers goes down. Another one goes into the zone. Good use of the body there for the Lady Tiger on Wagner there. Puck comes back to Hayden. Hayden has it along the boards. Goes to push it down into the zone. Now that one's going to get passed out into neutral ice out to Maddie. And Wagner grabs it. They got a 3-on-2 coming into the zone. Jansky with it now. Tries to get that centering pass off, but has it deflected into the boards. Now Wagner battling out along the boards. Jansky with it, goes for the centering pass. Gets it out to Avery. She's going to fire one down. Tipped off the stick of the goalie. And rebounded by Hayden. She's going to send it back down behind the net as Wagner chases. Now the puck's going to come back out to center ice where Emma grabs it at neutral ice. Now she comes into the boards. Or into the, there's a shot block, gets her own rebound. And that one's stopped and blocked. Goes for a centering pass to Jansky. She's tied up. But then Brooke comes in with a head of steam off the bench, takes a shot. That one blocked by their goalie. Rebounded by Hayden, fires it down to Brooke. And Lady Tigers clear the zone. That one's going to roll on end, and we'll get icing with 3:36 left in this first period of play. Brooke to face off. Puck goes backwards as Lady Tiger grabs it. Ellie's right there to knock it back into the zone, but the puck comes back out to neutral ice. Charlotte gets in, breaks up the plate, grabs the puck. Now picked up by Brooke. Brooke's going to skate forward. They got a 3-on-3 coming into the zone. She gets tripped, no call. Now back out to neutral ice. And Lady Tigers trying to get it out of there, but Ellie and Brooke have different ideas. They're trying to clear it out of that neutral zone. Avery comes over, grabs the puck, goes to set it up, brings it across neutral ice, now dumps it down into the corner. 2:43 remaining in the first period. A little stalemate action along the boards as they pinch it. Puck comes out as Hepner gets it, goes for a centering pass, but it's picked off there by a Tiger. Now Charlotte gets it back, takes a shot, deflected, rebounded by Hepner. She tries to get a shot, has it deflected. Now the Tigers get it, and they're going to send it down. And Charlotte will race down to pick it up. Puck sent up to Ellie, the neutral ice. The Tigers are right there to send it back in. That one will get dumped back down, and Charlotte will go down and use the board, sends it on up, and Tigers stop it. They're going to fire one down, and it looks like we're going to have a penalty on the Tigers, which will be a one-way power play. Minute 51 left in the first period. One way on a power play as Emma gets it, sends it back to Avery. She's going to fire one down. Wagner with it out front, trying to get that backhand in there. Goes down on the puck. Now rebounded there by the Tigers. They go to try and clear it out. It's stopped by Avery. She's going to fire it back down off the skate of a Tiger. Puck comes against the wall. Jansky steals it away, sends it back down into the corner. And now it gets knocked out of the zone as Hayden's going to pick it up at neutral ice. Fires it down into the zone. Jansky trying to get there. Has it now behind the net. Passes it back to Emma. Emma skates up, takes a shot, trying to tap that one in just above the goalie. And the goalie taps it up with her glove. Stops that one from being a goal. And now the Tigers have it. Here they come up the ice. They got a 2-on-1. Wagner races down, grabs the loose puck. And now they're going to call a penalty on Jansky. I guess I didn't see what she did. She's going to go to the sin bin. 49 seconds remaining. A little 4-on-4 hockey. Shot there way up and above the goalie. Above Peterson. Wagner battling it out, sends it across ice. Emma goes to grab it. 30 seconds left in this period. 5 seconds left on their penalty. Then we'll go on a penalty kill. As they go back to full strength, Wagner sends it down. No call there as she gets tripped. Tried to get a shot out there. Blocked. 7 seconds remaining. Puck into the corner as Avery pinches. 3, 2, 1. That'll end the first period of play with one way up. 1-0 against the Lady Tigers. Start the second period off on a penalty kill with 40 seconds remaining on the penalty. All right, starting out the second period of play. One way on the penalty kill here as Wagner goes to face off. Puck comes out, and Emma sends it down into the zone. Stopped by their goalie. 30 seconds left on the penalty kill. Puck comes out. Emma goes to grab it. Fires one down, deflected. And there's going to be a penalty. So we'll play a little 4-on-4 for 21 more seconds. And then be on a power play. So Wagner faces off. Puck comes back to Hayden. Hayden fires one down. Now the puck's going to go on in as they send it down to the opposite end. The Lady Tigers have it, and now we're back to full strength as Jansky comes out of the sin bin. We have a minute left here on a power play. Puck goes down into the corner. Jansky's going to grab it from the corner. Skates behind Peterson. Sends it over to Emma. Emma sends it back to her. Here she comes in front. Goes down into the corner. Trying to get it off over to Wagner. As she has it again. Goes for a centering pass to, I believe, Ellie. Now the puck goes back down into the corner. Jansky with it now. Goes for a centering pass of a no look, which I keep telling her to not do. Now Maddie grabs it, tries to send it up ice. Puck's going to dribble down into Peterson, and we get a whistle. 12:19 left. In the second period. Getting parched. Puck comes back to their point. Point fires it across to the other side. Goes for a shot up. And over the top of Peterson. And we got a 1-1 game.
Earlier, I thought I'd give it 20 to
$100 for the goal. Sweet. Is that every goal is $100? Her uncle. Her uncle's sitting next to me. He's gonna pay $100 for that goal. As Brooke is slow to come off. Addie sends it back to Charlotte. Charlotte's going to fire one down, blocked by their goalie. Now rebounded by Avery. Avery over to Soph. Soph sends it down into Betsy. And now the Lady Tigers are bringing it up. Now Betsy's going to grab the puck. Has it in the corner, trying to clear it out over to Avery. There's a centering pass broke up there by Charlotte. That one's going to get sent down ice. Picked up by their goalie with 11:03 remaining in the second. As here comes the Tigers up the ice. Now into the zone they go. There's a trip there as Charlotte got a stick back. And we're going to go on a penalty kill again. Charlotte's going to go in the sin bin for a trip. 10:47 left in the second period. Knotted up at 1. Wagner will come in to face off. Puck sent into the boards back to the Tigers. They send one across the ice. Now dump it down in. Puck back behind the net. Emma's going to pick that one off. Uses the board. She's going to fire that one to the opposite end and clear it out. Wagner comes in. Puck comes out. Emma's going to steal that one away. Here she comes into the zone again. Nassett sends it out to Wagner, but it's picked off by the Tigers. Stolen away by Emma again. She sends it down and clears it. Tigers fire one down. Just past the front of the goalie. Now Wagner's going to grab it. And Wagner's going to bring it up ice. She has got a 1-on-2. Comes down, dumps it down, blocked off the goalie. She comes down, gets her own rebound. Goes for a centering pass. Puck's loose and it's in. Nice pass over there from Wagner into, I believe, Ellie. And Ellie gets the goal. Normally is going to go up 2-1. As Betsy gets it. Sophie grabs it, sends it back. Now back up to Soph. Tigers come in, trying to get it up as Addie goes to grab the puck. Tigers bring it into the zone, stolen away there by Soph. And then the Tigers get it back. Now they dump it down into the corner. Puck goes over to Avery. Avery stops, trying to send the puck around. Now Sophie goes over, picks it up, tries to clear it out of the zone, picked off by a Tiger. Now they get it back, take a shot off the side of the net. Betsy gets it and sends it out. That one's going to be tipped. There's no icing. Tigers bring it in as Charlotte sends it out to Addie. And the Tigers get it back. Here they come across the front. Takes a shot. Stopped there by Peterson. And covered. A whistle with 8:09 remaining in the second. Wagner checks on along with Emma, Jansky, Avery, and Charlotte, I believe. Yeah, the pass comes up from Charlotte to Jansky. Jansky brings it across, now dumps it down in. And the puck comes back, and Charlotte's going to race back here to grab it. Now Wagner grabs it, comes across center, gets a nice pass out to Jansky. Jansky's going to bring it up. Comes across neutral ice, now down into the zone. Looking for that centering pass, puck's out front. Gets her own rebound. Emma sends it in and deflected. There's a little collision there with Emma and Jansky. That one's going to go down for icing. 7:29 left in the second. One way up, 2-1. As Wagner faces off, puck comes out. Tigers have it. They're going to try dumping it down in. They're going to race back and grab it. That one was deflected. As Maddie trying to clear it out of the zone. Puck's going to go back in. Tigers able to keep it in. Comes out front. Tries to get a shot off. Deflected. Now it's in front as Peterson goes to cover it. And we get a whistle with 7:02 left in the second. Wagner to face off. Puck comes back. Jansky gets it, trying to clear it out of the zone. Sends it right to a Tiger. They send it back into the zone. Now picked up by Wagner. Wagner fires it across over to Hayden. Hayden goes to push it up ice. Jansky and Emma off to her sides. Now sends it back to Jansky. She'll fire one down just a bit outside. Wagner's going to grab it from the point, and the Tigers get it back. Here they come up the ice. Broken up there by Jansky and saved by Peterson. Puck still out front. Another shot there blocked. Now out in front of Peterson, and there she goes to cover it. 6:24 left in the second. As Brooke comes in to face off Avery. Who else is in there? Charlotte, Pelly, and Hepner on the ice for one way. As Hepner grabs it, goes to send it forward, has it picked off by a Tiger. They dump it down in. Charlotte grabs it behind the net, sends it back over to Avery. Now Hepner gets in. Over to Emma. Trying to keep that puck in or clear the zone. Now comes back to Charlotte. Charlotte turns, sends it up ice, but their point's right there to keep it. Now Brooke trying to push it forward. The Tigers get it back though. Nice body there by Avery to steal that away and sends it out of the zone. Now picked back up by the Tigers. Goes for a centering pass. Ellie grabs it and sends it out to their point. Point grabs it, sends it back down in. Stopped there by Peterson, covered, and we get a whistle. 5:22 left in the second. Betsy to face off. Now picked up by Addie. She's going to bring it down into the zone, then stolen away by the Tigers. Puck back to the point as Charlotte tries to keep it in the zone. She gets the puck back, sends it back in, then gets tripped. No call as they bring it in. Tipped. Blocked there by Peterson. Now rebounded by Avery. She makes a move, turns. Goes to send it up ice. Stops, turns, goes again. And as she goes to bring it up ice. That one's going to get called off for icing. And the Tigers are going to grab it behind their own net. That one picked up by Addie. Now sent in by Betsy. Puck's loose behind the net. Addie sends it down into the corner. Betsy with it now. Gets it over to Addie, trying to get that centering pass off to Solf. But it had it tipped away, and now here comes the Tigers up the ice. Charlotte getting a stick in on it there. Little collision by some of their own players. Now Charlotte gets it and sends it down deep. And we're going to get icing with 3:51 remaining in the second. So this must be, now that I'm looking, this must be a local team, I'm assuming. Maybe? Yeah, as the puck comes out, Emma's got it. She's going to bring it in the zone. Has Jansky off to her side. Shoots and glove saved there by their goalie with 3:38 remaining. Wagner to face up. Puck comes out, tipped by the Tigers. Now they're going to turn and go with it. Dumps it down into the zone. Jansky grabs it from the corner, has it stolen away, but then Hayden grabs it, sends it over to Emma. Emma tries to send it across the ice. Now Jansky's going to grab it out in front of us here, sends it over to Wagner as they come into the zone. Wagner sends it back to Emma. Emma fires one down off the skate of a Tiger. Now she gets pinched along the boards, tries to do a wraparound. That one gets knocked out, and here come the Tigers up the ice. Maddie gets in front, and now Jansky's going to get called for another one. No? Yes? Oh, I thought he was calling a penalty on it. Calling offsides. I thought that was a penalty. They only called offsides. And Charlotte turns, sends it down, and we'll get icing. 2, 4, 6 left in the second period. One way still up 1-2 or 2-1. Puck drop. Hefner goes down. Now Charlotte gets it. Uses the boards, trying to clear it out of there. That one's going to go back to Avery. Avery picks it up behind the net, makes a move. There's a trip, no call. Sends it across ice, fires one down, stopped there by Peterson with 2:17 left in the second. Brooke will face off. Sends the puck forward there. Point gets it, sends it across the other one, sends one down there, blocked by Peterson. And she's going to cover, and we get a whistle. Puck drop, comes out. The Tigers get it from their point, tries to fire one down, deflected there by Charlotte. She's going to send it out of the zone. Hefner chases after it. That one right down in front of Peterson. She gets stopped there by, and Ellie brings the puck up, goes to that centering pass over to Brooke. And Hefner gets it and sends it back down into the corner. Ellie's right there to grab it, goes for a centering pass, puck's out front. That one deflected, another centering pass right to their goalie. And they go to try and clear it out. Avery's going to grab it before it gets out of the zone, sends it back down in. As Hefner battles along the boards for it. Ellie comes in to help out. Now sends it back behind there as Brooke goes back to try and get it. Now they send it back around over to Avery. Avery using the board, trying to get it back into Hefner. And they're going to call Avery on a penalty. 51.8 seconds left in this second period. And River Lake, sorry. One way will go on a penalty kill. Puck drop. Wagner gets it, goes and fires it out of the zone. Well, it's doing a pirouette all the way down. Tigers trying to clear it out. Wagner steps up, trying to keep it in there. Comes in at a full head of steam to try and take on Wagner. And didn't win. And now we get a whistle. Puck dropped out in front here. That one's going to be tipped down into the zone. As Maddie, I believe, trying to clear it out of the zone. Now met by Wagner. Wagner goes down. 2 seconds remaining, and that should end the period. All right, third period. As we're on a penalty kill here for another 38 seconds, puck comes out, goes to Hayden. Hayden turns, uses the board, sends it down into their zone, or our zone. And here come the Tigers up the ice. Wagner with it now, goes to push it up ice, gets tripped. There's a call. And we're going to go on. Ooh, she just got technical. She even threw her stick. So she got a double minor. So she's going to sit for 3 minutes. Icing is called there. 2 seconds left on our penalty kill. 2 minutes and 47 seconds left on theirs. And Avery comes out of the sin bin. Wow. I don't know. That was a nice save. Nobody can believe that save. And that looked pretty open. As Emery went for a backhand there. She saved it. What a heck of a save there for their goalie. As the puck drops, Jansky gets it, fires off the goalie. Emma tries to rebound and puck comes back to Hayden. She whiffed on it. Now here come the Tigers, but Hayden gets in there and stops it. Now to Emma. Emma fires it across over to Jansky. Jansky gives it off to Wagner. Wagner comes into the zone. Now Jansky gives it back to Wagner. That one's tipped away there by the Tigers. And they still got 2:05 left in their penalty kill. And Charlotte races down, grabs the puck behind Peterson. She's going to fire it up there. Tipped by Wagner. That one's going to go down. We're going to get icing. With 12:29 remaining in the game. 152 left on their power play. As puck comes out, Maddie grabs it, sends it out. Now over to Hefner. Hefner's going to bring it into the zone. Goes for a centering pass out to Ellie. She fires and stopped by their goalie. Wow. Another great save by their goalie. Rook will face off. Ellie and Hefner off to the sides. Maddie fires one down and stopped by their goalie. We got Maddie and Avery back on D. I don't know. Charlotte's going to check on. Puck drop comes back to Avery. Avery goes to tap it forward. Hefner getting in there, backhands it back to Avery. Now she sends it back into the corner. Ellie grabs it, looking for that centering pass, knocked out by the Tigers. And Avery grabs it at neutral ice. Sends it across over to Charlotte. Charlotte's going to dump it down into the zone. 1:08 remaining in this penalty or power play. 11:35 left in the game. Puck along the boards as Hefner battling it out there into the corner. Ellie comes over to help it out. Hefner's going to come out with it. Goes for a centering pass to Brooke. That one broken up. Comes back to Charlotte. Charlotte from the point fires one down. Glove saved by their goalie. Oh, 11:18 remaining in the game. 41 seconds left on the power play. Wagner to face off as Jansky and Emma off to the sides. Hayden and Maddie back on D. Maddie steps up trying to keep it in the zone. Puck comes out to neutral ice. Hayden's going to grab it. Sends it across over to Jansky. Jansky's going to come in with Emma into the zone. Sends it back to Wagner. She fires. Glove saved by their goalie. Wagner to face off. Puck comes up. Jansky sends it back to Hayden. Hayden skates up from the point, sends one down in. Puck into the corner as Emma goes to grab it for it. The Tigers knock it out, and here they come up the ice. Stolen away there by Hayden. Wagner with it now, trying to send it across over to Emma. Emma's going to come into the zone. Jansky off to her side. Tries to get a shot off, has it deflected. Goes for a centering pass. Now back behind the net. Ooh, okay, that was a little weird. I guess you can hit Ellie with a shot there. Stopped, covered by their goalie. Emma, sorry. That was Emma. I guess you can smack kids in the head in retaliation, but get a call yet? Tigers go to bring it up ice. That there by Hayden. And she's going to grab the puck, sends it out to neutral ice. Now down into the zone. 58 seconds remaining on the penalty kill. As Wagner gets in there, pinches it. Now over to Ellie. She fires one down, deflected. Maddie's going to grab the rebound, tries to send one down. And sends it back out. Maddie grabs it again, fires it down into the corner. That one sent down, deflected. Now back out to Maddie. Maddie sends it back in from the point. The goalie tried to cover that one, and their defensive person sends it back out to neutral ice. That one deflected as Wagner's going to chase for it. She's going to get the puck back. 14 seconds remaining on the penalty kill. Now she's going to bring it into the zone. And now here come the Tigers into the zone, met there by Avery. And now we're back to full strength. Puck's going to go down into the zone. Puck sent across as the Tigers bring it across neutral ice. Now into the zone they go. That one deflected away by Peterson. As Hefner grabs it in the corner, trying to send it out of the zone. Their point grabs it, sends it back down into the corner. That one blocked by Peterson, rebounded by Brooke. Now picked up by Avery. Avery's going to turn, looking for option, fires it up ice to Ellie. That one's going to go down into the zone. Brooke goes to chase. Now back out to Charlotte. Charlotte from the point fires one down, deflected off the goalie. Just under 8 minutes remaining in the game. As the Tigers send it across, Addie races in, takes a shot, glove saved there by Peterson. .740 left in the game. One way still up by 1 goal. As the Tigers get it, they're going to knock it down into their corner, picked up by Avery. And Addie steps in, grabs the puck from the corner. She has it from behind the net. Gets it up to Soph. Soph Taps it forward. Now that one's going to come out. Betsy's going to grab it. Here she comes into the zone. And the Tigers knock it out to neutral ice. Picked up by Avery. Avery over to Charlotte. Charlotte turns, sends one down, deflected into the boards. It goes from the goalie, and we're going to get a whistle. 7 minutes right on the buttons. 28 shots on goal for one way. 19 shots on goal for the Tigers. Puck comes out, gets over to Hayden. She's going to send one down. As the Tigers go to bring it up, Soph's going to come out with it. Here she comes down into the zone. Sends it back to Addie. Addie fires one down. Rebounded by Soph. She taps one, gets it blocked by the goalie. Now it's going to come back here to Hayden. Hayden has it, sends it down in. And now that one's going to come out as Maddie trying to get a stick on it. Here come the Tigers up the ice. Puck goes back behind the net, picked up by Addie. Skates it forward. Betsy sends it up to Soph. Soph's going to go off. And then Wagner, Jansky check on. Wagner with the puck, steals it away, brings it into the zone. She gets taken down. No call again. What in the? Avery with it in the neutral ice. Goes to skate up, brings it into the zone. Comes up, fires off the pipe. Ring the bell. Stopped there by Charlotte. Charlotte fires one down into the corner. 5.5 left in the game. Tigers go to clear the zone. And look at icing with 5:25 left. Wagner to face off. Uh-oh. Puck on in, racing or rolling down there. The Tigers have it. Charlotte races back down there to get to it. They go for a centering pass. That one's going to sneak out as the Tigers grab it at the top of the point. Now Avery's going to get, there's a trip. And we'll get a whistle. Which means it's a one-way power play. For 49 remaining. Wagner to face off. Puck goes over to Jansky. She's tied up along the boards. Puck comes back to Hayden. Hayden from the point. Turns, fires, blocked by their goalie. Rebounded by Emma. Emma tries to send one in, has it deflected. Puck comes back over to Hayden. Hayden's going to skate in, goes for a centering pass as Wagner tried to tip that one in. Maddie grabs it, tries to send it down. That one deflected. And the race is on, and here comes Emma from the back ice. Sends it out to neutral ice. Wagner with it now. Sends it to Jansky. Jansky sends it down behind the board. And Maddie grabs it. Backhands it over to Hayden. Hayden fires it into Wagner. And the Tigers are able to steal it away. Here they come up the ice. Hayden gets a stick in on it. Gets it back to Maddie. Maddie trying to clear it out of there. And now Hayden's going to grab it along the boards. Emma fires it across over to Jansky. Jansky brings it into the zone. Sends it to Wagner. Wagner comes up, fires, and that one's in. And a Wagner with the goal. And one way will take a 3-1 lead. 3:27 left in the game. Puck dropped. Here comes the Tigers into the zone. Avery deflecting that pass. Now goes in the corner as Ellie goes to grab it. Tigers backhanded it in, broken up by Avery. Avery with it now. Sends it over to Ellie. Ellie's going to bring it into the zone. And 59 is going to go to the sin bin. That was time coming. Which will put one away on a power play. Kepner. Now the Tigers met by Brook. And the Tigers are able to send it down into the zone. 2:25 left. Picked up here by Hayden. He and Ellie come into the zone. Now Ellie grabs it, fires one down. And now here comes the whistle. So now we'll have 5-on-3. And she was ejected. I haven't seen that in a while. They ejected her. Puck comes out. Jansky takes a shot off the goalie. Rebounded by Emma. Now the puck comes in. Another shot there by Maddie. Rebounded by Jansky. Jansky with it now. Looking for that no-look centering pass, which I tell her not to do all the time, and she seems to want to do it all the time. Emma with it now. Out to Maddie. Maddie fires a bouncer down there. Rebounded by Wagner. She's going to send it towards the boards. Now back out to Maddie. Maddie fires one down again. That one in the little frustration there by the goalie. As Anna's like, I'm going until the whistle. Get mad all you want, but no whistle. Wagner to battle it out. Sends it over to Jansky. She's going to fire one across. Rebounded there by Charlotte. Minute 16 remaining. They're going to get one player back now. Puck over to Jansky. She's going to pick it up. Has it stolen away. Sends it down ice. As Charlotte goes to pick it up in the back ice. Just under a minute to play. Here comes Charlotte. Into the zone she goes. Gets tripped. No call. Huh. Avery with it now. Sends it up to Jansky. Jansky's going to pick it up behind the net. 28 seconds remain. She's going to send it over to Emma. Emma with it now, firing it up to Wagner. Wagner over to Jansky. Jansky taking his shoulder. The other team's getting a little chippy here at the end. They come up the ice. 7 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 2 seconds remaining. And they get a goal. 2.4 seconds remaining as the puck comes out. That'll end the game. One way with their second win here in Nashville.
All right, yourself? Yeah. Well, I don't have that. I gotta send my own.
Trying to look up. Our next game is tomorrow at 4:20 and 8:50 tomorrow. So 4:20 and 8:50.